Love, blessings, peace, and prosperity. Divine, beautiful soul, what is good in your world? You're tuned into the Cafecito and Tarot podcast. And it's me, Nicole P, your spiritual barista, serving you wisdom, guidance, and inspiration from the cards. My love, what I have for you in this episode are reflections from the tarot card I pulled this morning, which is the Hermit card. Ooh, I love the Hermit card. I adore this card. Well, in fact, let's be real. I adore almost all cards. In fact, I think I've got to make an episode. I got to sit and look at all the cards and reflect upon the ones that I absolutely do not like. I know there's, in fact, right now, I know I can say right now, one of the cards that I dislike greatly is the Hierophant or Hierophant, potato, however you want to say it. I do not like that card. And I know there's got to be a couple other cards. And actually, let me make a note of this. Let me pause for a second and make a mental note. Okay, there it is. I got to do an episode on the cards that I do not like. It might be kind of fun to have a guest come on that episode and we can talk about cards that we don't like. That would be a great episode. Oh my gosh, if you're down, if you're listening to this and you're like, I would love to be up on the Cafecito and Tarot podcast and talk about cards that you don't like, definitely go to my website, www.cafecitoandtarot.com. Hit me up. It's on the front page. You will see like the second section. It'll say, want to be part of the Cafecito and Tarot podcast. Fill that form out. Let me know. And I'm thinking like it'd be something to record probably in the next couple of weeks because I'm in the process of moving soon. We haven't found a place yet, but I know our most perfect sanctuary place where we'll have amazing, beautiful respite and joy is waiting for us. And it is looking for us just like we are looking for it. So once I am moved, I would love to have record an episode with somebody on that. Okay. I got a little distracted there, but I think that would be great. But the Hermit is a card that I absolutely adore. And so I'm going to have that on this episode. I'm going to talk about my reflections on the Hermit. And then I'm going to do an Oraclescope for this week ahead. I'm using the body cards. I did this a couple weeks ago. And you can tune in for your sun, moon, or rising, or all three. And with this Oracle deck, it's one word. Like it's just one word. For example, I'm looking at it right now. I haven't shuffled. Like it says this one card that I have facing up, it says intuition. So, I'm going to say the sign like Leo, intuition, and I won't say much about it. I want you to hold on to those words. You can write it down, the words down, and you can just tune in this week of like, what are the messages? Like, what do you feel from those words, and what calls to you? Yeah. So that's what I'm going to have on this episode. So a lot for you to sip on until I'm back up here on again. These episodes are pretty much just going to be weekly until I am moved in and I'm ready to back up on here for the Daily Tarot Brew. But until then, it's like a weekly Tarot Brew. And let's get into it. But first, let me get a sip of my cafecito. I am drinking Equal Exchange coffee, like the morning blend. Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And what I love about it, it's very strong. So a little bit goes a long way. And it's fair trade, organic. Love Equal Exchange coffee. I think it's one of my favorites. Okay, my love. Let's talk about the Hermit. The Hermit card. And the imagery that I will be referring to is based upon the marvelous, magical artistry from Pamela Coleman Smith. May she rest in power, peace, and pleasure. So the Hermit is the major arcana embodiment for Virgo. Right? Virgo is still part of the summer season, but it's the last leg of summer coming right after Leo. Mercury is a planetary ruler. And when we look at, feel into, and listen to the energies of the Hermit card, they're whispers from the Magician because of the planetary connection to Mercury. So, the Hermit. I mean, it seems in some ways when we look at the image, somewhat self-explanatory. Explanatory? Yeah. Is that the right word? Sometimes I twist my words around and I make up new words, okay? And if you've been hanging out with me for some time, you probably know that to be true about me. But it seems really like self-explanatory, right? We see the image of, it appears to be a wise person, appears to be a man, male-like figure, and they're cloaked in this robe, right? And they're on top of a mountain. There's snow because, like, on top of mountains, there's snow. They have like a staff in their hand, and then they have a lantern. And so, one of the messages, just by sight of this card, is about space, taking space, intentionally withdrawing in order to think, in order to process, in order to research, to learn, to integrate, to digest, metabolize, to tune in to one's internal wisdom. And it's a withdrawal, not in a way of like, I'm done with people. I'm never going to interact with people ever, ever, ever again. But it's really like this kind of, wait a minute, I need a timeout. I need to put myself in timeout. And so, one of the really important messages and reminders for us from the Hermit is to consciously carve out space and time to be able to have some respite and reflection. Now, I know that life can be very busy, that there may be multiple responsibilities tugging at you. You may be a single parent, you may be working two jobs, you may be caring for a loved one, an elderly parent or family member. You could just be involved in a lot of stuff, right? And it can be really easy to let life get the best of us and go, 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 and put off that, like, yeah. I'll get to those moments of time for myself another time, and I'm just going to keep going. And I got all these things I got to get done, and the list doesn't end. I get it. I get it. And I also know that if we do not stop and take responsibility to be able to say, I need a time out. And I'm not saying being responsibility, I'm not saying that's like in a bad way. Like, we all got to be able to say, this is what I have control over. I have to be able to say, it's more of empowering, right? I'm going to carve out space and time so I can reflect, so I can meditate, so I can be with my thoughts, so I can reflect on what the heck has been going on in my life, so I can allow all that I've been learning to just be in my body, and I can allow it to integrate. There's another element of the Hermit that's about creation as well. Did you ever have that where you're able to carve out space and you put on some music and you just zone out and you dance, and maybe you write, or maybe you paint, or you're just flowing, and it feels so good because you feel like you tapped into this like divine source of creation, and it feels so good, and you want to live in that moment forever, like that? Like, that's that element of the Hermit. It's like saying, like, hey, somehow, some way, no one's going to do it for you. You got to find the ways to carve out that space into your life. And sometimes we have a little bit more flexibility, and we're able to carve out longer periods, maybe days, maybe I don't know how long, but you're able to carve out more in your life, right? And sometimes it's a little bit more challenging, right? But the thing is like, no one's going to do it for us. And here's the thing is, I love you, and I have to tell myself the same thing. If you have time to scroll TikTok, if you have time to mindlessly be on social media, Googling up a whole bunch of stuff, you got time to carve out, to meditate, to integrate, to create, to be in this space of that Hermit energy. It doesn't have to be, it could be wonderful if you can get a weekend retreat to yourself, like with yourself, or, take longer times away. Like, yeah, that's amazing. But not everybody has that luxury, right? Time wise or money wise. So we have to find the ways in which we can do this in like bite-sized chunks, right? Ways that fit into our lives. Because if we wait for it to be this big, extravagant thing, we might be waiting for a long ass time. Excuse my swearing. I had to say it like that. I'm going to say it one more time. We might be waiting a long ass time. So, how do we fit these hermit moments into our lives on the daily and the semi daily, on the weekly, on the ways it's going to work for you in your life? You have to be able to make that commitment to yourself, to make that devotional practice to yourself, right? You have to find the ways to do that. The one thing about Virgo energy, when you think about it, Virgos are extremely, have this magnificent intelligence of systematizing and categorizing, and there's a element of a routine, and they have this brilliance to them, right? And they're able to, generally speaking, but Virgo energy is able to withdraw and go within in order to really understand. And so this energy is the Hermit card. I should say, the energy of the Hermit card is like, how is your body, how is your soul calling you to go within? And how can you commit to that? Because in a society where everything's so quick and you take a course and all of a sudden you're a guru, you're a master, and you haven't even had time to allow the teachings and the learnings to live in your life, to live in your body, it's we're on a hamster wheel. Like, it's like becomes like a hamster wheel. It's always go, 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 go. So the hermit's like, take time away without an agenda, without expectations, without a list, without producing anything, but to be and to just reflect and tune into your inner wisdom, because we all hold so much wisdom and knowledge within from living life, then from what we learn, like our own research, how we are learning and growing. And so if we don't take that time to allow it to absorb and to integrate, we're really doing a great disservice to our brilliance, to our souls, to our ancestries, to our legacy, and to the future generations, and to the people in our circles and our communities. Is a disservice. And it's a disservice to ourselves. So, my love, find ways that you can really carve out space. Whether that means it's an hour, whether there's a half hour, maybe you get up a little bit earlier in the morning and find ways to sit and to meditate and to be. And the whole idea of meditation and being is not to run away from your thoughts, is to be in communion, in relationship with your thoughts, to be in communion, in relationship with your body, with your heart. So finding the ways, and if you could do more time, if you can get away for a weekend by yourself, more power to you, but that's not always the case. So we find ways in which how we incorporate these moments of solitude and silence and being, whether it be 5 minutes, 15 minutes, in the beginning, at the end of the day, but it's a continuous practice that we incorporate and that we dedicate and are devoted to. And if we miss it a day, that's okay. That is okay. So the hermit is a gift. Hermit energy is a great, 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 great gift. And it's a way that we nurture our brilliance. The way that we nurture our brilliance, because you are brilliant in your own way. Okay? Now, let me say this. The idea of hermit isn't to isolate forever and ever and ever. I know that sometimes it feels like, oh my gosh, let me get away from people for like a while. Like, and that's natural because we're always so inundated with stuff, right? We're so inundated. And I don't think we're supposed to be so inundated, right? I don't think we're meant to be so inundated, right? The hermit, that energy allows us to calm our nervous system some and just be in relationship with our brilliance, with our wisdom and our learning, because learning is such a beautiful, beautiful thing. It's such a beautiful process and aspect of life. And oh, it's just so glorious. And here's the other aspect of the hermit. It's not to isolate, detach, or withdraw forever. Because as we integrate, as we learn, as we tune in to our inner wisdom, as we begin to make sense of sometimes what is the madness, the call is to emerge from our caves, emerge from our sanctuaries, and hold the lantern for others to see and invite others into our presence, whether they come to us or we go to them, because we're meant to also share all that we learn. We're meant to share our stories and our experiences because ultimately that's one of the biggest ways we learn, way we always have and maybe always continue to, is through our stories and through hearing other people's experiences and how other people interpret data, knowledge. And so sometimes, in order to really be able to spread your light, you have to go within and you have to take that time to really tune in to yourself. You need to tap out for a little bit. Just remember, you got to tap back in at some point in time. And when you've had that space to really be in relationship with your thoughts, your feels, your knowledge, your wisdom, continue to grow and evolve and tune into that creativity, you come back and what you have to share with your community, with your circles, with your family, with your friends, with the world. You're coming from a space where your cup is filled. You're coming from a space with the integrated, embodied experience. And so that's what I wanted to share with you. My love about the hermit. Go within, but don't forget to come back out. Because the world, the world can benefit from your brilliance. And there's so many ways that you have impact. And we need each other now more than ever. And so that's the other piece. Let me say that really quick here. I know that we all need to be of service, but don't forget to be of service for yourself by taking time for yourself to integrate, by tuning into the hermit energy and the energy of time alone. It's not a disservice because you're going to come back out. You're going to come back out. You're going to share. You're going to be of service to others. You're going to care for others, right? But you got to make sure that you care for yourself. You got to make sure to fill up your own cup. And that goes even beyond filling up your cup, but allowing the medicine to like seep in your body and just be. Okay? So, however you do it, dedicate to it. Dedicate yourself to it. Because the thing is no one's going to do it for you. I know you may have support, right? You may have support, or maybe if you don't, I know there are people that their spouses, their partners, their family members might intentionally set them up for a day where they get time to themselves to be and everything like that. Like, no doubt that's amazing. But ultimately you have to be the one to say, I'm going to do this. I'm going to take time. I'm going to take hermit time, all right? I'm going to take time to be the hermit for a while. Or also too, like, I'm going to dedicate a devotional practice that's weekly or daily or every other day to tune into this hermit energy. And it takes time, takes practice, and but it feels really good once you get the hang of it. Once you get the hang of it, it feels really, really good. And there's nothing like being able to have the space to really integrate the experiences and the knowledge. And you'll be surprised at what comes up for you. And so that's what I want to share with you about the hermit. And let's see, is anything else coming out? No, I'm done. All of a sudden, just like stopped. It's like I start talking and then I almost close my eyes and I don't know what I'm saying. And then all of a sudden it just stops. I have nothing more to say. So with that, my love, that's what I have for you about the hermit. So sip on that this week and feel into it. Feel what the hermit is calling for you, or how the hermit's calling to you, and how to be in relationship with that hermit energy. All right, I'm going to take another sip of my cafecito and I got the tarot. Oh no, not tarot scopes. Oracle scopes for you for this week ahead. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. All right, my love. I'm back, ready to go. And actually, no, I need one more sip of my cafecito. Mm. The stuff is so delicious. Equal exchange. You got to look it up. You got to buy some of that. You'll love it. Okay, here we are. I'm shuffling the cards. Once again, I'm using the body cards and I'm just going to say it's just one word right on these cards and I'm going to say that's going to be your word, like the word or the theme for you this week. Sun, Moon, or Rising, or all three. And it'd be interesting. You can write the word down in a journal. You can write it down, put it on your altar, and just tune into it and see what it might mean for you this week and what comes up around this word. So here we go. I'm shuffling, shuffling, shuffling. Look at it. Listen, it's like music to your ears, right? Every day I'm shuffling. Dun 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 dun. You remember that song? Dun 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 dun. Okay, shuffle a little more. Shuffle a little more. Okay. Tuning in. Tuning in. The cards are just about ready, my love. They're just about ready. All right, let me cut them. Let me cut them up. Cut them up. Here we go. All right. Blessed be. Here we go. Aries. The theme for you this week is willpower. Aries, willpower. Taurus, delegation is your word or your theme for this week. Delegation. Cancer, regeneration. My love, Cancer, you have regeneration. Gemini, I skipped over you. Oh my gosh, that's because that was meant for Cancer. No, it's because I just skipped over you, but let's make a meaning out of it anyways. Gemini, how could I? How dare I? It's your birthday season. How dare I skip over you? That's because this card really is meant for you. Oh, what a beautiful birthday message. Okay, peace. Gemini, your theme this week is peace. And I wish such a peaceful closure of this cycle and a peaceful, like, this solar return and a peaceful, like, entry, beginning of this new cycle of life for you. So, peace. Leo, affirmation is the word thing for you this week. Affirmation, interesting. Affirm your brilliance, affirm something, but affirmation, you're going to receive, I feel like that, you're going to receive lots of affirmations this week of what you've been really feeling and looking for. Okay, action is Virgo. Action. Get it going, Virgo. Action is your word this week. Libra, retreat. Ooh, my love, retreat. Maybe you need to tap into some big Virgo energy, big hermit energy. That's what you probably need this week. Retreat. Scorpio, intuition. Ooh, you're going to get some hits this week, Scorpio. Intuition is your theme. Mm-mm-mm. The downloads will be coming for you. Okay, Sagittarius, priority. Priority, my love. Sagittarius is all about the priorities this week ahead. Capricorn, power. Power, Capricorn, power. Be aware of how you use your power. You are very powerful, by the way. So it'll be interesting. I wonder what that's going to mean for you this week. Power, Capricorn. Aquarius, patience. Patience, my love. Patience. Patience, patience, patience. That's what you got going on with you for this week. And Pisces, foundation. My love, you have foundation this week. Interesting. Must be working on some foundations. Listen, I feel like I skipped somebody. Let's count the cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. No, I got everybody. It felt like maybe because it was one word, and I'm not used to just saying one word. I'm used to talking a lot. No, so I felt like, oh my gosh, I missed somebody. I did skip. I did have a little bit of a mix up, right, with Gemini. I forgot you, but I think you were really meant to have peace. That was like a birthday blessing for you. Okay, that's what I got. That's that's my answer, and that's what I'm sticking to. Thank you so much for tuning in, my love, and rolling with me, flowing with me. Mad love, and I hope that the themes and the words for you for this week ahead, I hope they bring about some kind of insights and magic and miracles all around. And I'm raising my cafecito to you. I'm signing out. I'll be back next week. Until then, um, may you be open to the meanings of the moments and the blessings within and all around you. Continue to be a kind human being and be mindful and intentional with what you call forth into your life. Be well, my love. Peace.